I'm hoping I can get some juice out of this camera because it died before I got to the gym. So I had to recharge it while I was at the gym because I couldn't do this video. And now it seems like my mood's gotten worse. But it's not completely recharged, this camera. No. So, okay. This is the story. I had sex with someone yesterday that I've known for, I guess, about, I don't know if it's like around 10 years or I don't know. He slept here before, and then I was just not that interested, and we just stopped talking. And then occasionally, a few years ago, out of the blue, he hit me up on an app. I was like, oh, okay, I remember you. I didn't say that, but you know. Then eventually we started talking and stuff, and then eventually he. It just never worked out between us because he would always call me last minute, and I can't do anything last minute. And then he was getting all pissed off and stuff, and blah 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 blah. So suffice it to say, he hits me up yesterday, and I'm like, okay, because we did kind of contact a bit, and I told him I liked him and all that. But he was avoiding people, and I think he's got like borderline. Because after we were talking, he is seeing a therapist. But the whole point is, I mean, everything was great yesterday. I mean, except I had to point out he was touching my hair a lot too much, you know. And I said he's the only person who touches my hair, but I don't want my hair broken with you rubbing it like I have a bald head. I have hair. You don't do that to hair. If it's tied back, it means you don't touch it, you know, but I didn't say that. I was like, once in a while it's okay. But usually when I'm with someone on a regular basis, I cover it. And it's like, you know, you don't touch it. You touch it one more time, you're out. That's my, my hair's more important than you. Basically, I'm saying that. You know, you're not respecting an obvious boundary. You can see I'm in a really intense mood right now. So, and he's very self-conscious about his body, and I love it, you know. But then he was, you know, he got a little comfortable, and he was talking to me about, you know, other people, and got into a little rant. And he was talking about and he started mentioning a boyfriend who was seeing someone else, and then it was like, oh, he lied to him and all that. So he's got issues with that. And then as he left, he said, you know, don't be a stranger, because you know, last time you just didn't communicate. I don't know what happened. So I was like, okay, whatever. So that's what he was saying. So why didn't he communicate? You know. So I felt guilty. I'm like, okay, he meant to tell me that he didn't have relations with people for like 7 months because he had to take a break. So I'm feeling guilty again, like, okay, you went with me, but it doesn't mean we're boyfriends, you know. At the time I was vulnerable again. I'm like, okay, cool, this would be nice. And then, you know, I gotta be careful of my impulsivity or impulsion or whatever the word is. I'm not going to say impulsiveness because I hate the way that words are just added ness to at the end, and it's not. It's too cliche for me. So I'll say impulsivity. So I had time to think about it, and I don't think it helps that I'm in a crappy mood today because of the lack of caffeine, and probably also because I did have caffeine, but it's not helping. I'm hungry too. A whole bunch of things. I think once I'm in that zone, I'm in that zone. I did buy a lot of food though. So I did have time to think, and I'm, you know, despite all the things preventing me from thinking if it's real or not what I'm thinking, but it probably is if I'm thinking about it and like trying to take a distance, is that we never went on a date, and I'm thinking you putting guilt on me for not being, I'll call you when I feel like calling you, and if you you know, are not available. I'm not. First of all, I'm not gonna let a Saturday go again like that unless I really feel like it. But it's like, it's got to compromise on both sides. And if you butt hurt from people rejecting you all the time, man up a little bit. I can say that to myself too. If I don't call him, it's because I'm not interested, and I have to realize that I'm not that. I'm interested in Leia every now and then, but maybe as a boyfriend, it's like, okay, it's too like, I don't know you. We gotta go on dates. I gotta get to know you, and I don't know you. That's the bottom line. So, has anything changed since before he came back again? And I think the last time I saw him was like a year and a half prior, and then he got all butthurt. No, nothing has changed. If he talks to his therapist, it's good. But I mean, I don't want to have sex like that every day. It's too much. I want to have sex with different people right now, or have a connection with someone. On a regular basis. Once a week we check, we plan something, but none of this spur of the moment type shit, because, I have other things scheduled. I'm not here waiting. So that's where I am in my mind right now. So I don't know if it's a lot of anger, because it didn't help that I was looking through the apps and I saw someone else that I went on a kind of date, and I have a perceived rejection, and then I saw he's back on there. So it's like that kind of added to it. So I don't know where my headspace is right now. But I do know it's a good thing to kind of pull back. I know that much, and not think of this guy that I spent a couple hours with in the morning, and didn't go to the gym because of that. Don't latch on and think, oh, he's going to be a boyfriend. People don't change, really. I mean, if he latched onto me, kind of like needy. He slept over, and it was like, that's what codependent type thing. Or someone needing, like, maybe a daddy. He did text me afterwards, and he said, you're a beautiful man. I want to tell you that. Oh, thank you. Yeah. And then a few hours later, he said, "Daddy, don't overwork," or something like that. He called me daddy. I was like, "Is that what you're looking for?" It kind of, puts a piece of the puzzle together. You're looking for a parent figure. I gotta learn to parent myself first. So I don't know. That's where I'm at. If you have any suggestions, this is subscribe to this channel. I never say that, but subscribe to it. This is June 30th at 1:38. Sunday, June 30th at 1:38 p.m. And now it's sunny outside. If you saw the last video, it was the same day, but it was dark. It was more in the morning. It was raining before. It's very humid now. I better stop talking. If you have any suggestions, just let me know, because I don't know. Now that this whole splitting is in my head, I'm taking that option to see what it is. Probably triggered by my not eating. Probably triggered by my not caffeinating, and all that stuff. All right.